Okay, so guys, first of all, we will delete this cat's sprite because we don't require it. And after that, the first sprite that we will be drawing is the pad. Okay, that so let us just click on paint mode and let us use the rectangular shape to draw our pad. Right now we have drawn the pad. Let us just take it in the center and change the color of the pad here. Okay, so here we have the pad. Now let us start by coding our pad first. Now what we require according to our game is that the pad should be moving, right? Okay, let us just edit it a little bit. Go to costumes. We don't need this dot to be appearing, so we will use the eraser tool to erase it. Right, that's gone. Now, first of all, what we want is when we click on the green flag, we want this pad to be moving in left or in left and right directions only on the x-axis and not on the y-axis. It should just be moving horizontally. So either we can use the key block that we have used earlier in our games. For example, when key pressed block, if we want to make it move right, so we can use the right arrow and make it go right when we press the right arrow key. But it takes a little bit of time to change from left to right directions while moving. So what we will do instead of this, we will just use the set x to block. Okay, and what we can do to that is we will just instead of a value here, what we will do is we will make it move according to our mouse. Okay, right, so here we will select our mouse X. If we choose mouse Y, then it will follow the vertical direction of the mouse, but we want it to be moving on the x-axis, so that's why we will use mouse X. So it will set X of this pad according to the X coordinates of mouse. Right now we want this to be continuously going on this process, so we will use a forever block for that. Now whenever we will click on the green flag, it will follow our mouse direction on the x-axis, okay, only in left and right, not on the y-axis, right? If we take it straight up and down, it won't move in the upward or downward direction, but it will just go left and right with our mouse. So it will be pretty easier for our game. So let us place this pad here and we will rename it first. Pad. Right, now after this we require one more sprite for our game, and that is a ball. So we will use a circular shape and we will change the color of the ball. For example, green here we choose, and yeah, here we have the ball. We will decrease its size a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Let's bring here. Now we will program the ball. Okay, so now let us code for the ball. So when the green flag is clicked, its code should also start with a green flag. And now we want the ball to be moving in the direction of the bricks from the pad. So first of all, we will set this position when the game starts. So this is that position. Go to X and Y. We will select this at the first in the beginning. Now the bricks will be on this side of our stage. So we want the ball to be moving in these different directions, right? So what we will do here is, yeah, now let us select point in direction block through which we can change the direction of the ball. Now this is 90-degree, that means it will go here straight. We want it to be moving in this direction, suppose. So let us change the direction. Let us make it 45 in this chart, right? Now after that, we want it to be moving, because right now if we click on it, nothing's gonna happen. Only the pair is moving, but the ball is at the same place at this point only. It has just changed the direction. So after that, what we want it to be moving, right? So for moving, we will use move block along with the forever block. Now let us just decrease the number of steps here to 6 and check. Right, the ball goes when we click on the green flag in 45-degree direction, and it keeps on moving 10 steps, and it gets stuck at this point of the stage. Why? Because we have just used the move block with forever block. Now if we want it to bounce back from the stage, so simply what we will do, we will use the if on edge bounce block from this motion block category and place it here. Now it should bounce back from the stage edges, right? So fine. Now it will change the directions and go in different directions. Let us stop our game. So now after that, what we require is the bricks, and that will be the third sprite that we will be creating. So let us again go to the paint mode, and here again we will use a square box to draw the brick. Let us change its color to black completely. Okay, so this is our brick. Now we don't require just one brick, right? We require many bricks. Let us just change the size by suppose 70. Right, now we require many bricks on this axis and this axis also, that is X and Y. We require many bricks here. So that doesn't mean that again and again we will go on creating different sprites, because in that way we will be requiring 30 bricks suppose. So we have to take 30 sprites, and it will be pretty difficult for us to manage the codes of all these 30 sprites, right? We have to do a lot of coding then for all these different sprites separately. So what we can do here is we can use the cloning block in Scratch 3, and we will create a duplicate clone of this brick that we have made here, right? So we will code it in the sense when the green flag is clicked. Okay, when a green flag is clicked, create a clone of it, right? So here we have it in the control block, create a clone of myself. That means it will create the clone of itself, that is this brick. And after that, we are required to have bricks on X and Y axis. So what we will do, we will create variables. For that we will be requiring variable, and we will name it like brick X for x-axis and brick y for y-axis. Y we will create later. First let us deal with this. So now when it creates a clone or of itself, so what will happen now if we just click here, and as you can see, wait a second, here it has created its clone, but it will be at the same place. Right now if we stop the code, that clone is gone and this is the original brick. Now again if we click on it, see, this is the clone and this is the original brick, but it creates the clone at the same place. So that's why we created this new variable, so that we will be able to create its clone on x-axis and y-axis. So first of all what we will do here is set brick x to the x position of this brick. So here we choose the x position and we will nest it here, right? So when the clone is created, it will set the x position according to the brick x, and when we start as a clone, that means when the duplicate copy is created, at that time what we will do is change the value of this clone. So we will change brick x value by suppose 50, and we will check it. That means it will move 50 and a copy will be created, right? But after that what we will be requiring is we need to set the x according to the brick x here, and we will attach it here. Now what it will do, it will create a clone and mark its x value by increasing 50 units. That means it will draw forward, right? Now it is just looking like one brick. Let us just increase this number, make it 60 and check. Same thing, changes to 70. Right, now as you can see we have two bricks, right? Now in the same way we require more bricks, so we will code for them. Now as we need more copies, so simply what we can do here is we can use the repeat block, right? Now we need more copies, so that's why we are gonna place this here. It will be at the same place, and now it will, what it will do, it will create this clone for 10 times if we click on it. So as you can see, but we don't require that much, we just need 1 2 3 4 and 5. So what we will do here is we will make it 5 and check, right? So this is fine. Let us stop the code and change its position a little bit, and we will mark its position in the beginning at this point only, so that if we change it, it should come at the same place, right? Let us stop the code now. Now the same thing we will do for the bricks on the y-axis, right? So again what we will do, we will create one variable here with the name brick y, brick y, right? And again the same steps we will be repeating, but there will be a minor change. So first of all we will set brick y to y position here. Sorry, it is brick x, so we will change it to brick y here. Now after that we will change brick y right, and we will place it inside this repeat block. right? Because we want it to be repeating again the same steps that we have done here. So what we will do again, we will use a repeating block and we will nest that inside this, and here we will paste our block of change y by suppose 30, and let us also make this 5 because we just require 1 2 3 4 5 or 6 lines, so we will make it 6 and check it. But after this, what we are supposed to do, we have to change the x also, because once this bricks are drawn, the x position will be here. We want it back up here. So what we will do here is we will multiply this number by this 6 into 70, and we will take negative units from there. So 7 6 are 42, so 420 I think. So what we will do here is we will change x by minus 420 and we will check it if it works. Okay, there's one slight mistake that we have done. We have not set the y position of it. So we will set y to brick y here, right? Let us place it like that. Now again here it is drawing, so we need to make it minus 420 and check. Let us change the value again to 400. Okay, so minus 350 is the correct variable position, but there we need to change, do a little slight change here. These bricks are drawn, the clones are drawn, but original there is only one brick that is visible here individually. So what we can do here is simply after cloning, we will just hide this original brick, right? So after this coding is done, we will hide it and we will bring it back on the screen when the green flag is clicked, right? So it creates the clones and it is hidden on the stage now, right? So this coding is done until here correctly. Now after this, what we want is whenever we hit the ball, the bricks should vanish, right? We want it to be invisible. That's how the game goes forward. So let us now, so for that again what we are required is we have to create one more variable and we will give it a name, bricks, brick life suppose. Okay, now here what we need to do is we need brick lives of individual brick, right? So for every single brick we will create this for single sprite, every clone of that brick. Now after this, once we have created the variable, what we will do here is we will set the brick live here, brick lives suppose, and we will change it to 2 in the beginning, set it to at the start when it start as the clone. And now what we are gonna do is we are gonna use a forever block with if then statement. So forever, if touching the ball, okay, so we have not named the ball, let us just rename it to ball. Okay, so if it is, sorry, we are not coding here, we have to go there. Yeah, if touching the, okay, let us say sprite 2 only here, it is not renamed. So if it is touching the ball, then we need those clones to be hiding, right? And after that we will stop this script. So again we will go to control and stop this script. And we also need it to be changing, so change brick lives by 1 year, right? And after that it can, now let us just click on the green flag and check. So yeah, as the ball touches the bricks clones are hiding now. But here we also need to track how many bricks we are destroying. So for that, again, what we are going to do is we will create one more variable with the name bricks destroyed, right? And now change bricks destroyed by 1 year. Instead of this, keep it here and remove this. So now here we will get what are the total number of bricks in the game we have. As the ball touches, the bricks value changes here, right? The bricks we are destroying 28 and this 30. So in total we have 30 bricks. Now this value is required to us so that we can move further in the game, because once we have taken all the 30 bricks, we have destroyed all the 30 bricks, then we want a message to be popped up that will be displaying that you have won the game. So that's why we have created this variable. Right, now let us just move on further. So for that, first of all we will select a backdrop, and here we will just rename it like game start. This is the first screen, let us duplicate it, and here we will rename it U1, right? And here we will add the text, same text we can add. Maximize it, place it in the center. You can change the color if you want, you can change the background picture if you want. So for now, okay, let us just keep it that way. Now let us code on this background only, because we have selected backdrops. So when the green flag is clicked, first of all we want which background? The first background, right? So that is the game start background. We want this when the game starts. And now what we will do is we will use if then loop. If the bricks destroyed is equal to, Now for this we have created this bricks destroyed variable. So in total we have 30 bricks. So if we have destroyed all the 30 bricks, so we'll type here 30, then we will show up this screen, that is U1, right? And we want this always to be happening, so we will use a forever loop here and place it inside. So whenever the green flag is clicked, we will go to the first backdrop, and if we have destroyed all the 30 bricks, then we won the game. Now after this we are winning the game, that's okay, but how do we lose the game? So for that, in this kind of games, when the ball is passed through this and we miss the ball, so we lose the game. So now we will code it for losing the game. Okay, so now here what is happening, the ball is passing through the bricks, and when it touches any brick, it doesn't change the direction. That means when it touches this brick, it should fall back, right? It should move in some different direction, but it's not doing that. So for that, what we need to do is we need to find out the directions of the ball in which it is moving first, right? Then only we will be able to set the direction when it touches the bricks. So for finding the direction in which the ball is moving, what we will do here is we will just use this say block. So instead of saying hello, we will place this direction block inside it, and it will just display its direction here. So as you can see, it is 45 minus 135 minus 45, this is 45 and this is 135, right? So these are the only four directions in which your ball moves on this stage. Okay, here it is plus 35, in this direction it is plus 135, here it is minus 45, and bottom side is minus 135. As we know, these are plus coordinates and these are minus coordinates. So according to that, we will change the direction of the ball now when it touches this sprite. Okay, so again what we will do here is we will use one green flag and forever loop and if then block again. So if the ball is touching the, sorry, not the edge now, what is this, sprite 3, so we will rename it to bricks. So if the ball is touching the bricks now, then what do we want? Now inside it we will place another condition. If it is touching the bricks and if the direction is 45, for example here are the bricks, and if the ball is going in 45 direction, so if it hits the bricks, then what? Then it should move in this plus 135 direction, right? So for that, again we will go to control block, we will place again if then block inside it and use the operator block. This time if the direction of this ball is 45, then we need to change the direction. So for that, simply we will use point and direction block and we will make it 135, right? If it is going like this and if it hits this brick, then it should go down in this 135 direction. Now in the same way, if it is going in 135 direction, right, in this, and if it hits the edge or something, the pad suppose, then it should go in 45 direction, that means here, right? So we will just place this inside, and here we will use wait block for 0.1 seconds. So this is okay. Now we will just duplicate this, right? Place it below this, and now if it is touching the brick, direction is equal to, suppose, minus 145, then no, sorry, minus 45, then this number should be minus 135, right? Again we will duplicate it, place it below it. Now if this is 135, then the number inside it should change to plus, that is 45, this direction. And again we will duplicate it last time. And now if this number is minus 135, then this should go to minus 45, right? So, and after this, right, so if it touches the brick, it changes the direction now. Now after this, what we need is, let us just remove this save block. Now we don't require it. Now again, one thing, that if it touches the pad also, it should change the direction and move. So for that, simply what we will do, we will make one change in this block. We will use sensing block and an OR block inside it. So if it is touching the brick, duplicate it, and if it is touching this sprite 1 and or the brick, so if it is touching the bricks, it will change the direction and move, and if it is touching the pad also, that is sprite 1, it will change the direction and move. So we will just duplicate it, place it inside, and delete this block, delete this, duplicate it, sorry, duplicate it from here, place it here, again duplicate it, place it here, and place this here. So now if it touches even, wait a second, it is not changing the backdrop when the green flag is clicked. So there is some problem with the backdrop. Switch to backdrop, game start, and game start is this. We will not take the backdrop here. Okay, so the problem is here, it is indicating bricks destroyed is 30. So at the game start, what do we want? The bricks destroyed should be 0 when the game is starting. Right, so set bricks destroyed to 0 when the game starts. Okay, so for that, now if that is done, there was one mistake that we have to rectify. Now, yeah, we have to change this brick lives to 1, so that our bricks destroyed scores keeps on moving. And here we have taken 30. Yeah, so for changing the backdrop, here we have done taken 30 earlier, now we will make it 28 because it will count 28 bricks in total. So now after that we need to lose the game also. So how do we lose the game? When the ball go past from this point of this bat, that means on y-axis, if it goes past minus 150, the player loses a life. But for that, first we will create lives of the player. So we can create it by making a variable and giving a name, players lives, player lives, suppose, for this sprite only. Let us say for all sprites. And now what we will do, we will set player lives. Now suppose we need 3 lives in total, so we will set player lives to 3 in the start of the game. So right now it is 0. When we start the game, it will become 3. Now every time we lose 1 life when the ball passes minus 155 point on the y-axis. So for that, what we will do, again we will go to the ball coding, and here we will use if then loop once again and place it here after this. If the y position, here is the y position, so if the y position of this ball is minus 155, sorry, minus 155 is less than minus 155, that is if it goes more downward on this direction of y, then what do we want? We want the player to lose a life. So for that we can change player lives by minus 1, right? So if it goes there, the player loses 1 life. Okay, so if it goes past, the lives are getting in minus, that is they are getting subtracted. Now let us just come down. Okay, but now if we don't stop the ball and bring it to this axis, it will continuously keep on reducing the lives of the player. So what we need to do is, yep, once it has reduced life by 1, we needed to go to this point, that is x minus 39 and y minus 138, and again point in direction 45 to start the game again. Now if it goes pass down, it goes -1, again -1, and the game starts. And if we can control the ball, it goes on moving. Right, now we have one life left, but what if we lose it again? Right, it is 0 now. So when it comes 0, we should change the backdrop to you lose. So for that, again, what we will do, we will go to backdrops. We will create one more backdrop and we will name it game over. Right, we will use text you lose. Now let us just maximize it and keep it here, you lose. Or we can just say you lost. Game over. Let us place it in the center. Right, now go to the code. Again we will use one if block. If players lives is equal to 0, then change backdrop to, sorry, not wait, switch backdrop to game over. Right, so that's what we want. And after that we want to stop all the scripts. Right, so now let us check, is it working? Let us just minimize all these, sorry, hide all these variables. Okay, so now let us just go and check if it is working or not. Click on the green flag. Again, the same problem is arising. It is not changing to switch backdrop to game start. Yep, so it is touching the bricks, hiding. And if we lose the game, then what? 1 life we have lost. These are 2 lives lost. Now the problem is it is continuously just going on. It is not taking a pause when we lose a life. So for that, what we need to do here is, after we lose a life, change players lives by 1, and at this point we will use a wait block for 1 second, suppose. And then move. Right, start it again. 1, we lose the life. Okay, the thing is, it is not stopping here. So we lose one life, two, and three lives. And as you can see, we have lost three lives, but the code is not stopping, it is continuously going on. So what we will do here is we will broadcast a message here once we won the game and once we lose the game also. So we will broadcast one message from here, winner suppose, and if we receive this message over here, for example, when I receive winner, then we needed to hide and stop the script. So we will use stop all, and let us check if it stops all the script. Okay, we lose. Yep, so it stops the script, but the ball and the pad are still visible on this screen. So let us just code for them also. When I receive winner, they should also hide, and let us duplicate it for this also. But after hiding, it should also show up when it start the game. Again, here also we need to show up when the game starts, right? And let us hide this variable. 2, and we lose 3 lives. Again, the same thing we have to do. We will broadcast one message from here that we have lost the game. So we will broadcast one new message of game end, right? And we will place it here, and when these receives game end message, the same thing will happen. They will hide and duplicate. Same process will go for them also, and for this also, right? When I receive game end, hide, stop all. When I receive game end, hide and stop all. So if we lose 1 life, 2 life, and 3 life, it displays game over and everything is hiding. Again, when we click on the green flag, it goes on, right? So this is how you can create the big game for yourself. Now we can change the difficulty of it by increasing the speed of the ball, right? We just need to increase the number of steps here to increase the speed of the ball to make the game more challenging for the player to play. So create in your computers, and we'll see in the next tutorial. some more interesting games like this. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.